morning students. Today in this botany session we will start post-fertilization and its events. Good morning children. Today we are going to continue most important part in the events of fertilization, that is post-fertilization structure and events. So what will happen after the fertilization? You already lowest standard study. Ovary become fruit, ovule become seed, sepals and petals they dry and fall off, stamens will dry and fall off. All these things definitely will happen if fertilization successfully completed. So what we are going to learn today, we are going to learn post fertilization structure and events that took place in sexually reproducing plants. After fertilization, several changes takes place in the floral parts up to the formation of seed. The events after fertilization are called post-fertilization changes, in which formation of endosperm, embryo development, formation of seed, fruits, all are taking place. You can see in this picture, flower get fertilized. During the fertilization, the male and female gamete fuses together. Finally, zygote will form. Endosperm is formed after the triple fusion. So ovary of the flower which develop into fruit. Then inside the fruit where numerous seeds are seen. The seeds are nothing but ripened ovule. The seed which stores food in it. So the events after the fertilization, the formation of endosperm, embryo development, formation of seed and fruits are collectively called post-fertilization changes. So post-fertilization changes in which several modifications are observed. Okay, now we will continue. What are the changes that occurs in post-fertilization changes that occurs in the flower? Okay, so post-fertilization changes in which the most useful product is fruits. You can see how different parts of a flower become fruit, seed and so on. Okay, so let us see about the post fertilization changes, parts before fertilization, and what will happen after the fertilization, that is called transformation after fertilization. Sepals, petals, stamens, style and stigma of the flower usually wither and fall off, they will dry and fall off. Ovary generally after fertilization become fruits. Ovule it becomes seed. Egg or female gametes become zygotes. Funicle of the ovule become stalk of the seed because ovule becomes seed. Micropyle that present in the ovule also seen in the seed when it is forms. It helps the exchange of water. Okay, it helps to allow the water to go inside exchange of gases, especially oxygen like gases. Nucleus which is found in the ovule become perisperm. Outer integument of the ovule become testa, which is generally thick. Inner integument of the ovule is called tegmen. So inner integument become tegmen. It is thin and very membranous. Synergids which is found in the egg apparatus will disintegrate. Secondary nucleus that present in the embryo sac become endosperm. Antipodal cells that found in the chalaza region become disintegrates. Disintegrate means they will disappear. It won't be become a useful form. These are all some of the most important changes that occurs in the flower after the fertilization. Okay, so now we will be continuing. Most important part in this lesson is called endosperm. What is called endosperm? During fertilization, one male gamete that fuses with the egg and forms zygote, that is commonly known as fertilization or syngamy. In pollen tube, two male gametes are there. Once the pollen tube reaches the embryo sac, enters into the embryo sac and synergids. When they reach, pollen tube burst, first male gamete will be released. The first male gamete fuses with the female gametes, that is called egg or egg cell, forms a zygote, that is fertilization. But second male gamete is left in the pollen tube. That second male gamete fuses with the center cell in which the two nuclei is seen. The two nuclei which is seen in the center cell is named as polar nuclei or secondary nucleus. So the process of fusion of second male gamete with polar nuclei of the embryo sac is called double fertilization. Just previous previous part we discussed. So the fusion of second male gamete with endosperm nucleus, I'm sorry, it is called center cell or secondary nucleus, called primary endosperm nucleus. The primary endosperm nucleus later become endosperm. Clear? So the second male gamete that fuses with the secondary nucleus is called double fertilization. The product of the double fertilization is called primary endosperm nucleus. Remember, once the primary endosperm nucleus form, it start to divide. So primary endosperm nucleus divides immediately after the fertilization. Then zygote, it will be remain as it is. So the primary endosperm nucleus start to divide before the zygote start to divide into an endosperm. Primary endosperm nucleus is the result of triple fusion. That means two polar nuclei in the central cell, commonly diploid, is fused with the second male gamete which is haploid. So 2n plus n is called what? 3n. We called the product of the fusion of polar nuclei and the second male gamete as primary endosperm nucleus. This primary endosperm nucleus has 3n number of chromosomes, and it is a nutritive tissue, act as a regulatory structure that nourishes the developing embryo. So growing or developing embryo is obtain food from the endosperm because it is the nutritive tissue. Endosperm is a nutritive tissue. Kindly keep remember. Depending upon the mode of development of endosperm, there are three types are recognized in angiosperms. So the mode of development of endosperm in angiosperms are three types. What are the three types? The first one is called nuclear endosperm. The second one is called as cellular endosperm. The third one is called as helobial endosperm. So children, we learned now about what are the changes it takes place after the fertilization and what is called endosperm. Okay, in the coming class we will be discussing about the three different types of endosperms in the angiosperms. Thank you children, have a nice day.